All right, folks, gonna keep going with the questions from ChatGPT. Asked it a while ago. Give me some deep thought type questions, and it generated a list of 15 questions. So we're gonna keep rolling through them. So number 6 on the list is, and I'm looking at a side monitor for my list right now. How does one strike balance between work and personal life? And this one has been sort of near and dear to me for most of my life. I'm a strong advocate for striking that balance and actually trying to push myself. I've been able to sort of get there, so I feel fortunate, but pushing people and myself to have more of your energy in life than work. I think it's a shame that we all have to put in a lot of effort and a lot of time and energy into our work life and not our living life and personal life is kind of what the question asks. And so, yeah, it's always been a very important thing to me, is to make sure that you're dedicating more time to your personal life. For all we know, we're on this planet once, so you might as well try to take as much advantage of being with loved ones, being with yourself, and exploring. I just bumped the mic, sorry about that. And exploring the world around you, rather than getting really sucked into sort of the rat race and the sort of consumer reality that we're all kind of born into, especially in the US. Might be different in other countries, but I think it's pretty similar across the planet. Yeah. So how do you do that? How have I done that? One, I'm fortunate. I have a skill set that, at least up until this point, has been in demand. So I do work in the technology industry, and it's always been a passion and a love of mine. And that's allowed me to really kind of set my own schedule, set my own boundaries, and really roll with something I love doing. Now, that's not always the case. So I think that's something to think about right there. And again, this might not apply to everybody, but I think it's important to try to go down the path of doing what you love. Try to find a passion and run with it. I think it's a shame that a lot of us have to get sucked into something where we dedicate a lot of our life to maybe something we don't really care about, and that's a bummer. So I think, as much as possible, try to be creative, be imaginative with the things that you do have a passion for, and see how you can maybe use an aspect of that passion in the job, in the career, whatever field you might be in. Try to incorporate some of that. Maybe you won't be able to incorporate all of it, but I think it's important that you're driven by a passion rather than just a paycheck. Again, this is easier said than done, but I think it's something to strive for. If you can strive to live a life of focusing on the things that you're passionate about, the things that give you energy, that make you excited to wake up in the morning, you're going to have a more fulfilled life. And if you try to focus on sort of the monetary gains as like a second priority, even maybe a third priority, and again, I know that's really tricky, really hard to do, especially in the climate that we're in right now. We've got a lot of inflation, so it's really difficult to do that. But if you can focus on your skill set, your passion, your drive, it tends to pay larger dividends in the long run. You end up being a more skilled in that passion. You end up being more valuable when you're able to kind of hone in and hyper focus on something that really drives you, that's really meaningful in your life, rather than just doing something just to get that paycheck. That's going to really eat away at you. And over time, you'll become less and less productive and really burnt out. So I think it's important to try to incorporate something that you're passionate about in the work you do. And that, having that sort of mindset, that drive, that energy, helps you to set boundaries. So that's sort of the second piece, is setting boundaries for yourself, knowing when to sign off, when to say, hey, you're done for the day, and you'll pick up the work the next day. and really being an advocate for yourself, because the reality is no one's going to advocate for you. You have to stand up for yourself. You have to fight for your own rights, your own time, your own freedom. No one else is going to do that. And if you don't, someone's going to take advantage of it. So it's really important that you know your worth, you know your value, and you stand up for yourself. You set your boundaries, and you're very strong with that, and you come to your career, your job, whatever the case is, with those values, that mindset. Otherwise, like I said, it could be taken advantage of. So I think it's a mixture. It's a mixture of finding your passion and trying to incorporate that in the work you do. If you can make your passion your full-time job, I think that's great. That's a huge bonus. It doesn't always work, so at least try to get creative and imaginative and try to incorporate your passion. And then the second piece is work on setting some really strong boundaries for yourself. Make sure that you're actually putting your personal life first. Make that a priority, and make sure that you're setting schedules, expectations, things of that nature around what you find important, not the other way around. Their jobs will come and go. But your personal life won't. You only have one time to live that, so you might as well do it with as much gusto and as much mindfulness as possible. As per usual, love to hear from you folks. What are some of your ideas? How do you strike balance between personal life and work? What do you do to try to get the needle pointed more into the life direction, the personal life direction, rather than the work direction? Leave some comments. Maybe do a video reply. All right, till next time, peace.